Hello, Brent. It's such a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having us, Peggy. My name is Brent Stern. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer for SynergyLabs. Our most well-known brand is Veterinary Formula, and excited to be here.
I'm excited you're here. So tell us a bit, what is your product? Because not everybody might have heard about you.
So we do OTC skincare, ear care. We have an oral care line as well that we're modifying and growing. And we've historically been in the grooming space and are still there, but we're transitioning to some other areas of the business where we think it makes a lot of sense for us.
Yes, and we were speaking about the brand before, so it's brand trust. And we said, you know, a brand needs trust, and you were able to really build a lot of trust around, especially your veterinary line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how are you intending to build that in the future? Or how are you able to, you know, build that with, especially the new generation of people, right, who are very much into sustainability and you know, personal recommendations?
Yeah, so the new generation, and even like my generation,
Yeah.
we thrive on information.
Absolutely.
So information we need it now. It's totally different than when we grew up. We just waited for the answer. Now it's I need it now. And so having products like ours that are as accessible, you can find them anywhere at reasonable prices, really lends itself to, you know, an army of advocates who get behind the brand, who buy it, who look for it by name at the shelf, and if it's not there, they'll just bring out their phone and order from whoever does. So leveraging all of the reviews that we have, leveraging the ease at which those reviewers and others can find out about us and find information and find where to find us.
Yeah, I think that is a crucial part in today's world, right? You said we're looking for information, yes, but on the other hand side, we're drowning in information and we're starving for wisdom, right? So how do you actually ensure that you know, put together the information, the relevant information, and spoon feed it to your consumers?
Yeah, so you said something very interesting there, is we're drowning in information. So before you can put information out there, as a brand, you've got to understand what information is actionable,
yes,
and what is just noise. Because if you pay attention to all of it, you won't make a decision.
No.
And so you are, as a brand, you're drowning in information. So what you have to make it. So you first have to understand who you are, where you're going, what you're doing.
Absolutely.
For you to have a chance.
Yeah.
And so we are very careful, and it's an iterative process by pulling together all of the important data that we have, and just looking at the facts and where those facts lead us, and having an aggregation tool that brings in consumer sentiment, POS, price data, some competitor information, but I don't really pay attention to that too much. Like having a pooled set of data that is that's already thought through, so that you're just looking at the important stuff, is super critical.
Yeah, it is super critical. It's interesting because I'm working, I'm a growth expert, and also I'm kind of how I work with my clients is always around decisions. How quick are you taking decisions and taking action according to the decision, right? No decision is good without action. And one of the things is, in my framework, I call it Decide with Grace. The first part I'm looking into is, are you looking for certainty or clarity? And I have some clients who really start looking for certainty, meaning they analyze and they analyze and they analyze. But at the end of the day, they analyze so much that they get so confused. It's not about that. It's about the quality of the question you ask yourself, and then creating clarity based on data. And what you're describing is exactly that, right? Because there are people who say, okay, I need to have a full competitive landscape in order to take the next decision. But this is not how you take decisions, right?
No, there are some decisions that don't take a whole lot of time to get to, and those are the ones that you make really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not I think it was Jim Collins, maybe I'm wrong, and if it's not, I apologize, but he says it's less important what you decide, that you decide. You have to make a decision. If you're in a leadership position, you do not have the ability to sit back and just wait.
Wait it out. Yeah,
Just wait.
no option.
Because
Yes.
that in and of itself is a decision. You
Yes.
decided to do nothing.
Exactly. So life typically decides, and that's typically not what we want to happen.
No,
Yeah.
you have to take decisive action one way or the other.
Yeah, and move forward. Yeah. So what you're describing is that you're using the momentum, right? You're not waiting for perfection, because that's kind of what has to happen, right? So using the momentum. So you're taking an educated decision. So what are your decisions around your branding? Like we talked before, the brand it has to be instilled with trust, and I think that's what your brand has.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you going to move forward with this trust building?
So the skincare brand and the supplement brand and the oral care brand, those voices are very different from each other. Where the topical skincare brand, I mean, that's skincare. That is a clinical type of treatment, or that these pet parents are entrusting you with.
Yes.
We are really focused on with that particular brand. Let me back up just a second. Going to the vet is very important. And there are some ailments that require vet care.
Yes.
There's no replacement for it. The vets are uniquely qualified to help your pet with a variety of different things.
Mm-hmm.
For those, the fact is, though, in this country, access to vet care is either becoming more difficult because there might not be one near you, or that it's just becoming costly. And
that's more of a problem, right? Yeah, everywhere. Yes.
And so we have our treatments, our solution-focused products are really at that intersection of somebody who says, look, this might not rise to the level of me rushing into my vet, and I think I can solve this myself. Or there's not a vet within 2 hours of me. I can go to the store, whether it's Walmart or Tractor Supply or whatever, or Amazon, and I can have it here within a matter of hours. I'm going to give this a shot first, because the trust that this company, this brand, has engendered from this community of people that will review the product, and we can talk about that too. I can give this a shot. Where a lot of products online, if you can get 1.5% of people to go leave a review for you, you're doing something right. Our products are about 4 or 5%. So they're not afraid to share their experience and tell others about it.
That's amazing. So basically you're saying trust comes through community, and you're going to continue building trust through that community.
It's what's worked for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So what was your trajectory? Because if you started with groomers and now you I think you moved into a different type of distribution, what were your experiences with that?
So when the company was founded about 30 years ago, it was because our founder, the products that were available just weren't working for him in this situation, and he wanted to create something that was more that was better for the animal, that was better for the pet parent, and literally went door to door. Started in his garage, or started, pardon me, in his guest room. When he outgrew his guest room, he moved to the garage.
Yes.
When he outgrew those two spaces, he moved into a smaller manufacturing space. And so we are where we are now. It is really an American success story. But looking at engendering trust through the communities of advocates that we've created is at the center of where we're going. We're focused on acquiring points of distribution that make sense. We're not going after every retailer at every corner of the country.
Right.
There are a lot of great retailers in this country.
Yes.
And we want to be where more consumers who need us can find us.
And where would that be? Because there's different strategies. I've had the pleasure to give a lot of Ladybird Awards this year, Excellence Awards at the shows especially, and you can see, for me there is no right and no wrong. I just see companies who are walking their path very consistently, and I think consistency is probably one of those key drivers for success. And there could be the argument to say, okay, I want to be in every grocery store because this is where the consumer shops. There's also, and I want to have it in an affordable kind of, price tag at an affordable price tag. There's people who say, I need to be pet specialty because I'm so specialized. So where are you guys going?
So the e-commerce business is really important to us. It should be important to every brand right now.
Absolutely.
If you're not there in any significant way, it's
a problem.
It's problematic. Yeah. We've been in mass and we're expanding our footprint there. Mm-hmm. Mass for the past 10 or so years.
Yeah.
It's they're growing faster than any other retailer in the pet space right now. It's really important that we continue to foster those relationships, and we've seen a great amount of success there too. And then within the past 2 years, our ability to leverage grocery also is very important, because there you're really dealing with a few different consumers. So you have the e-commerce consumer that needs it right now, right? That has 4 Amazon deliveries a day because they thought of something else that they could add to their cart but couldn't do it in time. And then the mass shopper that goes to Walmart, Target, Menards, HEB, once or twice a month. And there are some, and then you've got the grocery shopper that's a higher frequency. Mm-hmm. So when they're walking down the aisle of their local supermarket, which we're here in South Florida, and we're fortunate that one of the best grocers in the country.
Yes, you do.
Publix.
Yeah, I know. Fantastic.
Is in our backyard. We love Publix. I have a wonderful relationship with them.
Yeah, I agree.
We are Publix shoppers, and so having the right product at the right place at the right time is everything.
Yeah, the question I'm asking myself though, because at least from my experience, some of those shoppers in these channels, they don't really have pet on their radar. Right now we're talking pet, and we're not even talking pet food. We're talking shampoos and treatments. And how do you get the visibility? How do you make it work?
Years of banging on a door.
Okay.
Years.
Consistency, right?
Years of talking to merchants, mm-hmm. and sharing data,
right,
and sharing experiences. And it's just consistency and professional relentlessness. It has to be there. If you're going to give up after the first few no's, then that's better for people like us. I wish more people would give up like that then.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Brent, do you moving a bit into the camera? So great. So we see you forward. No,
Sorry
this
about that.
this is really interesting, frankly. Okay, so visibility to the consumer, though. How do you get the visibility to for the consumer in those channels, right? But because mass, I mean, I walk through a Walmart. Sometimes I'm really overwhelmed myself. So, how do you direct the consumer to your product?
So those strategies are channel by channel,
Okay.
and they're retailer by retailer. What works in Publix doesn't work at Walmart.
Yeah.
Walmart doesn't do a buy one, get one.
No.
They don't like coupons. They want the everyday low priced offer to their shopper. That's what shoppers expect.
Yeah.
Where if you go to Publix or CVS or something like that, it's more discount / opportunity based that might force you to bulk up on, or might force you to buy maybe one more than you originally thought. Yeah. But the value is there, right? So like there's end cap opportunities, there's circular opportunities, yeah. And ensuring that you're supporting your brands on the shelf. If you're one of those companies that is going to put a product on the shelf
and wait,
cross your fingers
and wait, yeah,
and wait,
it's not going to happen. Yeah, clear.
Then thank you, because people like me are waiting to take your spot.
Yeah, you as a chief commercial officer for the brand, like, where does AI play a role in this? Does it play a role currently in your business? And if yes, where?
So we're integrating, or attempting to integrate AI in some design choices, but we have to be very, very careful about how we integrate it. Mm-hmm. It can help us cut through the clutter a little bit.
Yeah.
We're also looking at forecasting modeling that where AI might give some more insight, mm-hmm. And a greater degree of accuracy in some cases.
Yeah, I agree. I have that experience with clients as well. We're using it to model forecasting, and actually I find it more effective than only the human or the ERP system.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's starting with a good set of data to begin with. Absolutely. Right? So if you don't have that, and the set of data you have is not consistent, yeah. Or accurate, then whatever you're using is only going to be as good as what you put into it.
That's true. The base is the challenge, especially when it comes to forecasts, for sure. So the new generation, like, the people who are like 30 today, 30 years old, how will they shop, and what's your vision about what are they going to look for? Are they looking for the natural shampoo, the sustainable shampoo, how they today, they like to buy vintage stuff? And like, I have spoken to a brand, which is very interesting. They are going to create a new kibble, and they said, we're going to go for the thrift generation. Right, it was really interesting, because they're kind of saying, the generation we're talking to are the thrifties. They're going into the thrift store and shop, and they're integrating that into their marketing, mm-hmm. model and pricing and everything. So where is your vision for the younger generation, and how important does shampoo actually become to them, or is that still important?
So I think, so there's a couple of questions in there, I think.
Yes, sorry about that.
The current, I think that, so most recently, traffic on the Meta platform and others have been down, because a lot of people are just speaking into their phones, mm-hmm. or they're using sources of AI to quickly mine the data that's available and just give them the facts, yeah. Or at least summarize for them.
Yeah, that's back to the information drowning, and mm-hmm. now we have a method to basically go, okay, ChatGPT, tell me, but then we're dependent on what ChatGPT tells us, right? Yeah.
Right. So that's another topic entirely, which I am not qualified to.
Yeah, difficult.
On. So how we, I think that So I'm in South Florida. There's so many dog grooming services down here. As I'm sure there are all over the place. Dog grooming services are not inexpensive. So there will always be a role for shampoos. We try to stay a little bit away from the commoditized, like the oatmeal shampoos. We have an oatmeal shampoo. It's fantastic. The world doesn't need another oatmeal shampoo.
Yeah, great.
I also think that claims of natural, etc., those have become less meaningful because they're not qualified. Almost everybody says they have a natural shampoo.
Overused, right? Overused.
It's completely overused.
Completely overused. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so there will always be a place for grooming, and I think that this new generation, the generation that are acquiring pets and are caring for pets, they're more of a DIY mindset than they are, hey, let's just call the groomer because our dogs need a bath. Well, if your dogs need a bath, stick them in the sink or take them outside, whatever.
Do it yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see that generation needing the help of a good shampoo, right?
Shampoo, oral care, they're going to want to, as most people do, want to try to stay out of the vet's office as much as possible. Only going to be more costly.
Yeah, true. Do you support, as a brand, do you support people? Like, do you have training videos, or how do I groom my dog? Or do you provide information around that as well? Or is it something you basically stay away from?
No, we do. Since a lot of our products are more solution based, we will give tutorials both on a product display page, on the back of a bottle, on our website, wherever you can consume that information. There will be information there. There's also QR codes on the back of every bottle, and those QR codes will go to videos surrounding the item that you just bought. So if it's an antiseptic, antifungal shampoo, we're going to give you tips on how to use it and the types of, or what to look for to determine, okay, well, is it a hot spot? Is it a fungal infection? Because honestly, for the average person, it's hard to tell the difference between them. So being able to discern what it might be and then which product might be better for it, that's the first step.
I see. So if you look into the future, 10 years from now, what are the 3 drivers which are going to change this industry?
Oh man, that's a good question.
I know it's a difficult one, but it's an interesting one.
It's because there's the answer that I'll give you in public, and then there's the answer that I give you in private. So
here.
What are the 3 drivers? I think authenticity and value will always win.
Mm-hmm.
But with
trust loop, right? We're back to a brand you can trust, a feeling which is connected to a brand. Absolutely. Okay.
But without a great product and the trust and being able to, without a great product or being inauthentic or having a lack of trust, you can't overcome some of those things. So you have to stay true to the brand, what the brand is, what works for the brand. That's the first thing you have to figure out.
Yeah.
And then who is likely to see a benefit from the brand and speak directly to that consumer is critical. Without that, you don't have the permission of that consumer to do anything else.
That's a good point, because I think that's going to drive this industry, in my opinion, is to become more individually, more personalized. more tailored, at least in terms of the feeling you get that this is something that's tailored to my animal, to my dog, right, to my pet, rather than, going into the masses, even though you have a mass distribution, but the person will feel that they are taken care of and that their pet is taken care of.
Yeah, for sure. You have to, that's a prerequisite. If you can't convince somebody that you are in the business, because there are a lot of people that are not, but if you do what you do because you know that, or you feel that you're the best at what you do and no one else is as qualified as you are to do it, then you're on the way to earning the trust of that consumer.
Right, absolutely. So if you look at Amazon and you look at Rufus, you know what Rufus is? The AI part of, so now Amazon is using Rufus. And Rufus is an AI bot, which you basically can use as a consumer to ask questions, which is interesting, right? So the question here also becomes, how do we evolve as brands to actually match or even progress, an e-commerce platform, may it be Chewy, may it be Amazon, like how can we drive that? And how can we showcase our brands within a channel like that?
So the things that we've known, I think, as a marketing, as an industry, about search engine optimization, and those practices, they've been modified somewhat for to be more AI focused, centric. So you're staying at least on trend. You can't get too far behind, because then you're going to give other brands first mover advantage, and they're just going to keep cementing themselves even more, and it'll be harder for you.
Yes.
So to stay up on those AI optimization trends, and that's something that we're focused on here. Is important. Very important.
It is essential. It's essential. So maybe to finalize our interview here, Brent, if you could say, where do you think this industry, or our industry, our pet industry, where do we add the most value to the consumer? And what's your vision for this industry?
Well, I think we have to be able to be clear in articulating the value propositions of our brands, of our products. That will make it easier for the consumer to discern between something that they believe can help them and something that won't, either because it's not the right product for them, or because, hey, that's not great, I think I found something else. Like, when I mean like the right product for them, like if they're looking for this item and this item shows up and they buy this item by mistake, we have to help the customer cut through the clutter.
Right.
And if we can do that, I think that we as an industry have a long way to go to innovate. There's so much innovation. There's also a lot of clutter right now.
Yeah.
And so I think it's incumbent upon brands and companies to be extremely clear with their value proposition. And for those that aren't, you got to figure it out.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you again for sharing your story. Actually, this is exactly why I created this Pet Rising Summit, because it's highlighting leaders that are shaping the pet economy. And I think you're one of them. And I thank you very much, Brent, for your time.
Thanks for having me, Peggy. Appreciate it.
It was fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.